Hello everybody. Hi, how's it going? Today we are going to be doing a watch party of VCT champion of the Valorant Champions Tour Americas. Sorry, I almost said North America. Americas. So I'm not going to be doing my own commentating, my own casting. It's just going to be a watch party. We're just going to chill out and watch. Now the reason I didn't do Furia versus Loud is because I was pretty certain it was going to go to Loud, right? Because it's Loud, you know, #1 seed against the #5 seed of Furia. So I was pretty confident I knew how it was going to go. So I didn't want to be like watching it, because to me it felt like it was going to be a more boring series, and I was correct. Loud pretty much dominated Furia in this series 2-0. They were not close games either. Today's a big day, and there's a multitude of reasons, but the main one being, if you win your upper semifinals match, you qualify for Masters Tokyo. That's right. If you win today, you're going to Tokyo. And Loud already won today, so they're going to Tokyo. The rest of this tournament, for these people that make it to the upper final and the lower final, is pretty much just to see, you know, who in the Americas League is going to take the #1 spot before we do send the top 3 over to Tokyo to compete for the #1 spot in the Masters tournament. So it's a little bit of an interesting position that we're in right now. But again, Loud is going to Masters Tokyo. So the next team, or the second team that's going, is what we're also trying to figure out today as well. Now, if you lose in the upper semifinals, it's not over for you. You go to the lower bracket, and if you make it to the lower finals, then you do qualify for Masters Tokyo. So for these teams that are in the lower bracket right now, they definitely still have a chance to qualify for next year's Masters Tokyo. It's just going to be a little bit of a harder battle. So, but that's, you know, we're not talking about the lower bracket today. We're talking about the upper bracket and this next series. And also, one of the reasons I didn't want to watch Loud versus Furia is because those are South American teams, and of course I'm here for the North American teams. It's sort of the thing, right? And I'm going to be rooting for NA. So we're going to be watching Cloud9 versus Evil Geniuses to see which of these teams is going to qualify for Masters Tokyo today, and which of these teams is going to be going on to try and beat out Loud in 2 days. So, you know, it's sort of a match to see who's going to be the team to try and beat Loud and represent North America as the #1 team. That's sort of what we're looking for here. So, yeah, the series we have today is Cloud9 versus Evil Geniuses. Now, yesterday was the start of playoffs for Champions Tour Americas, and Energy and Evil Geniuses played each other, and by a little bit of a surprise, a bit of an upset, Evil Geniuses won over Energy. And this is an Energy roster that, I'll remind you, has beaten Loud. The only loss for Loud in the regular season was to Energy. So then Energy coming into playoffs and losing to Evil Geniuses, who barely qualified for playoffs, being the literal last seed, is definitely a little bit of an upset. Of course, Energy is up against Evil Geniuses. You know, because of the way that the seedings work, Evil Geniuses is supposed to be like the team that Energy is supposed to be able to beat, right? They're the lower seed for Energy because they did well enough to get 3rd place in the regular season. They get to go against the last seed to have a little bit of an easier battle. Now, typically you'll see the #1 spot go against the bottom seed, but because of the fact that there's only 6 teams here, the bracket's a little bit different. Instead of Loud going against Evil Geniuses, Loud moves on to the upper semifinals without having to go through the upper round 1. Same for Cloud9, who was 2nd seed. So that's why you're seeing the 3rd go against the last, because, you know, there's only going to be 4 teams in this first round. Point being, Energy was supposed to be able to take this series, and they didn't. It was actually pretty impressive to watch Evil Geniuses dominate in this series. I mean, we can look here. We see Haven go 13-11. All right, it's a little bit of a close match, and from that point on, it did not look good for Energy. It went 13-15. It did go to overtime, but Evil Geniuses did take that win, and then it goes to a Saint, and it goes 13-7. Not very close at all. So if you're Energy, you gotta be a little bit scared, or if you're a fan of Energy, you gotta be a little bit worried about your future now that you're gonna have to play or watch your team play through the lower bracket. But We're talking about Evil Geniuses, and after a very impressive win against Energy yesterday, I am excited to see if Evil Geniuses can continue to play here against Cloud9. Of course, Cloud9 is the #2 seed, the #1 team for North America in America's league right now. So the question is, will Evil Geniuses continue this underdog story and take out Cloud9, which would be the ultimate statement, and Evil Geniuses qualify for Masters Tokyo, or will Cloud9 put them in their place and say, no, you're that bottom team coming into playoffs for a reason, and we will see. We'll see. Whichever team loses this is going to have to play against Leviathan tomorrow to start off the lower bracket. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see here. I'm actually rooting for Evil Geniuses a little bit here. I think that's who I'm going to be rooting for today because I like the underdog story. I want to see Evil Geniuses play well here, and I want to see them do well. So that's sort of who I'm rooting for. But without further ado, let's go ahead and pull up the stream here, and let's just let's listen in to what these casters have to say. I'm not doing my own casting, so I'm just going to listen to what they have to say.
Oh, are 100 Thieves and Sentinels in the playoffs? Oh, no.
Oh, no. We got to tell you a couple things.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about it, though, because we have our #2 seed, Cloud9. They took down, Wyatt, every North American team to get to this point. They have been unbelievable, and the wild thing is that it started with EG in week 1, so wild.
Yeah, I mean, a crazy, crazy run from Cloud9. If there's one thing I have been witnessing, if there's one thing I do remember, it's that C9 Leaf, the one Leaf, is just
the one Leaf to rule them all.
Outrageous this entire season. So many facets of his game. The individual play, the entering, his first kill rate is insane. It's tied for the highest while he's not even playing duelists, and the calling that he's doing for the team as well. I mean, it's just outlandish how good he's been.
And the run has been nearly unstopped for Cloud9. The only loss was Too Loud, the first team from Americas to qualify.
And they're on a collision course to play them again.
Yeah, there's a chance of it if they win here. But every other game has honestly just been a walk in the park for C9. Their preparation is incredible for every match. They're always showing new things, be it a new comp or a new iteration to something they always have. And their preparation is just excellent throughout the season.
Their preparation is second to none probably in this stage, right? They've had the Phoenix running on Pearl. They've had comps where Neon is taking the stage for Leaf. Leaf has played Sky. Leaf has played Killjoy. Yeah. He's been all over the place. Every player on this team has impact, and MC's game plans week in and week out have made this team only drop, I think, 4 maps this entire stage.
Yeah, it's incredible just the high praise that you guys are giving for Cloud9. Because no one predicted this, right? And you see, even these guys, the big brains here on the desk, they didn't predict it either. Look at these guys, the biggest of brains.
I think week 2 we only said good things.
Let's take a look back at our coverage of this squad earlier at the stage.
I remember saying they'd be here.
No one knows what to expect from Cloud9.
And the expectations were so high. You know, we were coming into, I think, the Americas League expecting Cloud9 to be that super team status, but they've got Rooney and Jake, which is 2 players coming from like the tier 2, tier 3 scene kind of respectively, filling in those gaps. Massive shoes to fill. Arguably, some would say almost impossible to fill as well.
We don't know what this Cloud9 roster is going to do. I'm sure they don't. There's so many questions where it has to be that adaptability if they're to win today.
I think Cloud9 is going to have to challenge it in risky ways today, and they can win. They can definitely win if MC cooks up a game plan.
Sean, I see where you're coming from. Someone had to try and vouch for Cloud9, but I just don't see it for Cloud9.
Well, the doctor's prognosis is a little bit rough for this squad.
We got to go back all the way to the start, Jake. 2 weeks before the stage begins, you join the team. Did you ever see the team fighting for first place?
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't, but I knew we were gonna get playoffs. I knew we were gonna get playoffs, and I knew we were gonna do decent and up to better than people's expectations, because people expected us to like rank 10th. Like you saw Plat Chat, you saw even like the Valorant rankings, they ranked us like 10th or 9th at the start of the split.
I've been thinking about this. I think pretty much every single team in VCP, in Americas, in Pacific, in EMEA, they're all sponsored by Red Bull. Like every single team you see, you'll see like on their shoulder, Red Bull. And it's like how, like Red Bull's strategy is insane. Instead of just like, and they like sponsor the actual event, so like it's like a Red Bull clutch, right? So Red Bull is literally sponsoring every single team So that way, no matter which team wins, they get to say, "Yeah, we backed that team." It's like if it's the ultimate strategy. If we just sponsor every single team, one of them does have to win, right? And then our name will be on their win. It's funny to me.
Cloud9's journey has just been unparalleled.
And I think it comes from the buy-in to these game plans that MC creates. And Rooney now has control over this team, right? When he first joined the team as this inexperienced IGL, it was very unlikely that he had a lot of control in the team. But now fast forward to the end of this stage and you look at their map and you look at how Rooney's calling and the performances he's putting up, he looks like an experienced vet out there.
Yeah, if you don't know,
absolutely. If there's one thing
if you
that
don't know,
MC has been
Jake
able to
and
do with
Rooney
his
came
teams,
in
it's
to
instill
replace
a trust
Ye
in him.
and
It's what
Vanity.
happened with the guard
Ye
as
is
well.
now
Yeah,
on
all those new
Disguise,
players, they
and
believed in
Vanity
him, and
is
they
now
believed
on
in his
Shopify
vision.
Rebellion.
And it's the same
These
story
are
here.
these
And
are two
when we
players
talk
that
about
were in
Rooney's
Tier 1
IGL,
competition,
that
dropped down to
combined
Tier
with
2
Leaf's
because
ability
Cloud9
to
dropped them.
make
Now, a lot of
rounds
people
and make
are
plays
theorizing
happen
or
on his
assume
own,
it's
lead his
because of
teammates around,
money.
set him up. It's
Vanity
just this
and Ye are
beautiful
very expensive
combination,
players, and
it's just
that's
been
no
so
mystery.
impossible for these teams to deal with.
And so a lot of people were like, okay, C9 probably just can't afford them anymore. So in return, C9 did decide to purchase two sort of underground players, you could say, in Jake and Rooney. Rooney coming in to be the IGL, a little bit underexperienced because Vanity was the IGL before. And honestly, they've actually turned it around in a sense. I mean, I wouldn't say they're playing in a way that was... I'd say they're playing about on par with what we would expect from Cloud9 as a whole. Nobody really expected Jake and Rooney to come in here and then Cloud9 continue to be one of these top contenders. But they are. They are one of these top contenders now with these players coming in. So it's really interesting to see. Like, I don't know how they scouted out these players, but they did a really good job of finding players that were lesser known. Also, I apologize if you can hear my dog barking. Which are lesser known players coming in here. Like, I'm excited to see if Cloud9 can continue with these sort of like underground players. These, I mean, realistically, like they found some cheap players and they turned out to be very, very impressive. So I'm excited to see these new players and their career moving forward. And yeah, if Cloud9 can take a win here and just qualify for Masters, I think they can do really, really well in Masters. That being said, don't sleep on Evil Geniuses. They are a little bit of an underdog.
And it's such a big redemption for these two guys because, well, they did make it to an international event in the interim with Lock-in. Everyone got to go to that one. It was all of 2022 where they really fell off. Cloud9 was struggling then, but now coming into a new year with a new team, they've regained that success they had 2 years ago.
Yeah, no, totally. And as we continue to talk about C9, there's one thing that needs to be evidently clear. Leaf, good. Okay? He's good. He play game good. He shoot good. He use knives good. He uses all agents good. And this man can't do anything wrong. He does whatever he wants when he's out there, Wyatt, and it's genuinely scary. It feels like you're playing against Aspas, but you're playing against Aspas in all these different roles because he's just so impactful.
Yeah, it's incredible how much impact he's able to find on the non-duelist roles as well, just in regard to his own individual play. But then, yeah, what we're talking about, when he's on that duelist, his ability to get the other players on the team to play around him in an efficient manner, go for these aggressive on-the-fly calls and pushes. At the moment, he's just got it all, and it's something I mentioned briefly before, but he's tied for the highest first kill rate right now, even while playing all these non-duelist agents, which is just ridiculous.
It's actually insane, and it's because of how he approaches the game, right? Drawing the comparison between like someone like Leaf and say like Taco that we saw yesterday, Taco Leah, it's so different because you listen to how Leaf approaches the game. He watches and studies so many VODs, and every decision, every peek he makes is based on what he's seen in that footage ahead of time, right? So every game, his pathing is unique to the team that he's playing against. And that's how he's capable of putting up these numbers week in after week. It's actually wild because no one saw this coming.
No one did. And anyone who acts like they did, just, you're off the goop. I mean, honestly, there's just no way for anyone to have been able to predict this, just like their opponents, because we're going to move on to Evil Geniuses here. And they did something that, honestly, no one thought that they were going to do as well. Kind of feels like a very similar story, parallel to C9, where they had picked up some players. They ended up really high-profile players coming out of lock-in, and then they released them, or dropped them, or benched them, and then end up slotting in a rookie. energy, and in comes Demon One. He's bald now, so the picture's not updated. But this kid
Demon One, in case you don't know,
he's disgusting.
Demon One was poached from Disguise. He used to play for Disguise. He was a big player for them in the open qualifiers, and EG was like, hey, Demon One kid, we'll take him.
In the game that they just played against Energy, what I was so impressed with was after taking a really bad game against them, 13-5, 13-7, something along those lines, to end out the regular season, in playoffs, they came in with excellent preparation. On split, they were never falling for the NRG fakes. They were really well set up, stacking the correct site consistently. Then they got onto Ascent, and here's where it was just the individuals that were absolutely thriving. Everyone was popping off. Busio and Jojima were both having insane games, and that's beyond the rookie in Demon One, too. EG's run has been a miracle, but now they're just one game away from making it to both Tokyo and Champions, which is honestly unbelievable.
It's crazy. It feels like they have all the pieces, right? They have the star jet. They have like the late round closeout player in Com. They have the wild card in like Jogamo. Bustio's locking things down on the IGL Sentinel role. I mean, they just have it all right now when you watch them, and no one, again, saw this coming with EG, but it all fell into place throughout the season, particularly through their attack halves, where I was highly critical of EG early on in this split, but they've turned things around even there, and like you said, you have to give credit to Potter.
It's just so impressive, and when you think about the week that EG had, right, they lost to NRG, which you had mentioned, right, they got clapped there, that didn't look that great, then they failed to clinch that playoff spot, in control of their own destiny, couldn't do it. Then they are just watching MIBR play 100 Thieves, and honestly, I don't think anyone would have given MIBR the time of day.
Coach to step in and clutch and win the most unlikely game to even make it to playoffs.
I just don't get it. And then on top of that, we had Busio on the desk, and we actually had a chance to talk to him about a lot of this yesterday. So if you want to see the full thing, why don't you check out the VOD from yesterday. But for now, though, let's actually go ahead and check out this clip here about this team's wild journey. You guys weren't even sure if you were going to make it to begin with.
Yep.
You were just watching streams at home, hoping that you would get in, and now here you are. You just beat NRG.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely crazy. MIBR clutched up against 100T. Have no idea how that happened, but thank God. And then, yeah, but regarding NRG, that their last match, not this one, but the match in the regular season, it felt like the first 4 weeks for us, where it was just no communication. It felt terrible. We weren't playing as a team together. But today definitely felt like the last 4 weeks of the season, where we're talking, communicating, trading, we're playing very well together. So I think that's why we got this result today.
What's it been like playing with him, though? Because that change you're talking about from the first 4 weeks to now, that was basically when Demon One came into the team, and he was like a totally new player, first time playing at Tier 1. What was it like integrating him and getting him to the point where he is now with the team?
Yeah, I think the first couple weeks was a little hard, but he's so mechanically gifted, I think, honestly top 3 in the world when it comes to aim. What I see him do in scrims is like nothing I've ever seen before, and you see it on stage too. His aim is the best in the world. So all we had to do was just practice.
Out of everyone, you think he's the best in the world?
One of them, him and Durka maybe.
Oh, both bald.
Both bald, yeah.
Coincidence?
No, literally.
So we learned a lot that day. We learned, oh, hey, pictures updated. I didn't even notice that. Well done, well done. And you know what? That actually fits really well, because we can't forget about the new Bald Demon. It's, of course, Demon One, or Bald Demon One. Ooh, that works out really well. But here's the thing. He bet his hair on MIBR winning, and he committed. And then on top of that, he had probably one of the best games you could possibly ask for Sean. This guy was disgusting yesterday.
He had over 70 kills in this best of 3 against NRG. And on Split, he popped off. And this is the most impressive thing about EG. He got 0 first bloods on Split, and they still won. It's like his impact comes in so many ways. The Blade Storms, the First Bloods, you know, taking charge on defense. He does so much for the team, and he was what turned their season around in my eyes.
Yeah, impressive. Impressive top to bottom. Demon One has had one heck of a run here. Honestly, it reminds me, it's a weird thing, but, you know, it's very weird to see these young players come in and have this immediate impact. But that is the world that we live in here. It's going to be an incredible matchup. We are set for the second match of the day. So, of course, let's go ahead and send it down over to Van Silly, who's at the stage.
Riot Games Arena, are you ready? That's right. It's time for a second upper bracket semifinal match.
All right,
Introducing
winner goes
first,
to Masters.
another dark team currently writing their Cinderella story. Give it up for Demon 1, Ethan, Jogimo, Calm, Busio, and Coach Potter for Evil Geniuses!
Another one diamond, I live the victory, I'm never dying, I've been at the top, made it straight from the bottom, I never gave up, and so no one can stop them, no one can stop them.
Go. Alright, I'm rooting for G here, okay? I want the underdog story. Don't get me wrong, I want Cloud9 to qualify for Masters, but I want them to do it in the lower bracket, alright? I think EG's got so much potential, I want to see them do well.
And their opponents, a team who continues to show that there was no luck currently in their success. Give it up right now for Leaf, Zeppa, Rooney, Celsius, Big Bean Jake, and Coach MCE, your number 2 seed, Cloud9! Thank you, everybody.
There we go.
Time to get ready, baby, for this game. EG versus Cloud9, two teams that I genuinely, no one thought would be at this point at the beginning of the season, but here they are right now, establishing themselves as the beasts of the North American region. They're one game away from qualifying for Tokyo and Champions. It's all on the line right here.
Just a few months ago, 3 of the players currently on this stage were playing in Tier 2, were unknown names in collegiate, and now for all 3 of them, they are one match away from making it to Masters Tokyo, from making it to Champions Los Angeles. It's been 2 mirrored runs, 2 miracles for both of these squads, but now only one can get that first spot to the International.
And you described Cloud9 just now, but the other side of the stage, you know, this guy came from an open tryout to be a star player on the team.
Yep.
Their in-game leader wasn't in-game leading, you know, if you look back past a year ago. You have someone like Ethan who just joined this team, right? It's the same thing for EG, right? The stars all aligned. That's how they ended up here today. And man, did they have a chance actually today against Cloud9.
Yeah, Ethan as well, you mentioned him, but he's in rare form right now. I think he's playing some of the best Valorant that he ever has up until this
And
point.
we've been wanting that for a while from because he is so talented, but it's always been like up and down, but it feels like right now it's just all up, 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 up.
Yeah, he's hit the crescendo of his gameplay for sure at this point. Him, the power there combined with Demon 1, the Astra gameplay from Busio has been phenomenal. His timings with everything are great. They look so good right now.
But this is going to be a challenging game for EG despite that. Cloud9 have been on an incredible run. The only team to stop them thus far was Loud, but EG's coming off that upset over NRG. Still, they never expected to be here. Their hopes were riding on MIBR, and now they've had less than, what, 12, 14 hours to prepare for this matchup. They're normally so prep heavy.
Let's be honest, though, Mimi. Do you genuinely feel like EG... C9 had a chance to just watch EG play against NRG. And EG was very clear that they were anti-stratting NRG. You're not going to get away with these same kind of shenanigans against Cloud9, are you not?
It's going to be very hard to turn the prep around in time.
I'm going to say this. If I'm MCE, I'm game planning for NRG yesterday up until EG wins. So I think he probably didn't have as much time to prep for EG.
Interesting. And I didn't even factor that in, bro.
Cloud9 pick bind. That's the only map we
That's why you're here, baby.
Cloud9 play. And this is the wild card that Cloud9's throwing right now.
And if you think way back, some of these players have been demons on this map in the past. You think of Zeppa's Raze, which is fantastic. I imagine we'll see Leaf on the initiator here. That duo thrives on maps like this. But to rewind even earlier, we do get to start with Fracture, which has been EG's best map.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Cloud9 have not shown a single thing on Bind.
No.
So they picked Bind into this match.
And EG have been really willing to play it. They actually looked quite good against NRG. Had some great ideas even in the loss.
Yeah, on defense in that match against NRG, even with the loss, they came out and it looked like that was actually going to be their upset map win against NRG before the playoffs. They had a great defense. And again, Busio's Astra was phenomenal there.
Man, this is going to be such a good series. The last map, the Heineken 0.0 Ascent, that's where Cloud9 played the Viper. EG looked so good yesterday on Ascent against NRG. If we get to go 3, we are #blessed, G.
I love it, man.
It'll be a fantastic one if we get there, but let's dial in on map number 1. This is Fracture, strong place for both teams, and this map, most teams have been banning against EG. They have a lot of gimmicks built up around this Sova for extremity control with the dart, and also for a lot of set plays around the ultimate. It's really well thought out, almost C9-esque with the gimmick comp.
Yeah, absolutely. This is also one of the maps where you get to see the very rare Demon 1 Brimstone, where he's not actually going to be playing
the Demon Stone.
The Jet. But overall, some fairly standard compositions. Nothing too crazy. Aside from the Sova on the side of EG is a bit unorthodox.
What's crazy is in a map 1 against Demon 1 and Leaf, we're not getting either of them playing the Jet for the first 2 maps. I'm expecting more supportive roles for both.
Well, this is it, folks. It's time to jump into the action. Riot Games Arena, can you do me a big favor for Uncle GB? Make some noise as we get ready for this matchup. We're going to send it over to 2 casters who just radiate that big dad energy. It's Doug and Bala.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy. Bala, a spot at Tokyo's Masters up for grab right here, right now, between these 2 teams that no one expected.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just a spot at Tokyo. It's a double qualification for champions, too. So this means a lot. And you're right. Nobody expected this at the beginning of the season. We thought Cloud9 was dead in the water. But
champions, by the way, it's a
so
little bit weird how
beaten
champions
every
works.
single North American team
If
on
you
their
make it
path
to
here.
Masters,
And
you make it to
how fitting for it to be
champions.
EG in
And
their
then
path
there's going to
to
be a last
qualification.
chance qualifier after Masters.
Fracture,
So
we're
if you
gonna be
didn't
kicking
make
things
it
off again, a
to
map that is very good
champions
for
because
both
you
of
made it
these
to
squads. They've
Masters,
managed to
everybody gets to
avoid
play
through
again
the
in the last
bans,
chance
Lotus, and things
qualifier
of
to
that
try
nature,
and
but
earn themselves a
for us
spot
to
in
be kicking
champions.
things off on
There's a lot
Fracture
that
with
goes
EG on
into
the
it.
defensive
And then
side is gonna be a treat.
champions
Look
will
at how
be a
they're already
big
set up
long,
towards B. They want to play a little bit
So,
aggressive while the rest of Cloud9 wants to go away. And everyone's here from EG. It's going to be a late flank, but by the time the play shows up, it's going to be over. Oh my goodness.
Oh, he's low. That comm comes through. They know he's low. Come on.
He heard him behind him right now, Jake. Just trying to get back over towards B, but it's going to be a foot race for him to even get to a safe spot. And the smoke is smart.
What a freaking start to this map.
And you see how slow EG actually have to be going through spawn until they hear that spike point. So he gave themselves
They know how
some room,
low he is.
but now he's stuck and he's just dead.
Yeah, he has no
Oh
room to
my
reposition.
God.
He had nowhere he can go. Time was short. Health was low, and that's the first round
All
going
right.
to EG.
I expect at the very
This
least a 3
ridiculous
map.
fight and
I
duel
don't
towards
expect it to
door.
be a 2-0.
I mean, to start
I
off
expect a
right
3
away on a
mapper.
pistol round like that. We've seen a couple of games start just like it. It's just a full-out brawl. And the interesting part, too, not all the util got out for EG, but they're still able to make it work with the final stun. Coming in from the backside. That came in all the way from tree. They full-on went for a south side pinch, and they caught him right where they wanted him.
Hopefully a sign of what we're in for. If that's any indication of this series, we're going to have a good time.
Fracture's
Leaf
very,
with the
very
stinger here in the
offense-sided,
second
so you know.
It's that patented Cloud9 stinger by Zeppa, only actually going for a Sheriff, which normally he's going for a stinger to help set up some of the rest of his players. It's still a dangerous round, constantly for this team. And EG actually has struggled a lot in anti-eco situations, probably because of their rough start of the season. Specifically to this team, by the way. We saw these 2 teams play this map in week 1, the very first showings from both sides.
What an eternity ago.
That was like 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
They find themselves matched up here with everything as far as stakes go.
I think Busio hurt a lot more than Cloud9 expected here. But they don't really care. They're just farming up orbs right now. Jake is 1 off right now in second round. Zelsis as well going to get 1 up.
Cloud9 have to be careful here, depending on how much longer this hit takes. EG are bringing 2 on the flank. That's certainly going to help things out. But it's just going to be so difficult for them to fend off this retake attempt when you have 2 coming in from spawn, 2 coming in from main.
Yeah, that tree hit is way faster.
There we go. There we go. Come on.
I thought this was going to get a little dangerous. I thought they gave him
Deny
way
them
too much
anything
space
else.
on the
Deny
side.
them anything else.
Especially given the fact that you had so many orbs.
That's what I
given
want.
up
That's
too.
what I want.
You're
4 out of the
basically
5.
ceding
That's
all
so
map
good.
control to Cloud9 there.
They're gonna
And
have
I think
such a good
that's definitely
bonus.
gonna hurt in the next round. But also, I was really concerned there, like you were, that was going to be a Cloud9 round where they had time to set up. But that flank from Tree was really crucial. But again, they now have Jake's ults online. They have that Brimstone ult. Because of farming, he farmed 2 orbs in that round. And Zelsis got 1 up as well, plus the spike plant. So even though that was pretty clean from Evil Geniuses when it was all said and done.
Alright.
This makes for a
I
very
do think
dangerous bonus
EG,
round.
I mean, they're probably not going to win this round, but I do think they can get a good amount of kills. That's what matters at the end of the day on a bonus. Just trying to kill the majority. And I think EG
Another
can do
round
that.
for EG. Again, now Cloud9 with guns. They are working with more than a broken file icon on your screen there. They have a little bit more to them. And again, Jake's ult being one of them. EG again taking space a little.
They might get punished for this though, Doug. Look at the drop presence from Cloud9 right now. Oh, that dart is so good!
What?
It actually missed, but that's completely intended to catch somebody on the edge of that smoke, but they've given up the sight again here. And getting pinched in.
Yes.
Tom is still going to be able to apply pressure from spawn. I mean, they've
Yes.
taken care
Oh
of
my god.
everything that Cloud9
Wait.
had here.
That is just
Alright.
crazy. And honestly,
Alright.
to see EG throw out new things this late
Alright,
into
this
playoffs,
is
when you've
so
seen this
good.
come so often from them, you honestly think that you're going to start relying on a lot of the stuff that you've done before.
Alright.
But there's
Really
some
quickly, I want to thank gotten a
that
lot of
smoke
support in this
from
past
Com-
week
or from
from
Demon One
the
pushing
emo
up with
video.
Com's dart,
Thank you
they're
guys
able
so
to get
much.
the kill.
It just hit like
Obviously, he
30,000
didn't get the
views,
tag, but
which
he's
is
just spamming because he knows
insane
they could be
to
in
even
this
think
mode.
I
That's
could
so nice from Jogamo.
put something together that gets that
But
many
handling
views.
the pinch as
But
well
I've gotten a
from
few
Cloud9 is
subscribers
reacting
in this
in.
past week.
They know what the dangers
Adamir,
are in that strategy, in that approach. And they're
Imafada,
able to really understand
Kanal,
how to funnel them back.
and then I'm
Even
not going to try and
after
pronounce
Shock
this
also getting
name
a kill on the
because I don't
pinch
want to
attempt.
butcher it. And then
It's just so nice from
Sinech,
EG, and they convert on a dangerous
Chris
bonus. Remember, I
Kirby,
said they had
and
that ult. Cloud9
Slack.
used
Thank you
their
guys so
Brim
much for the subscriptions. I really do appreciate it.
kind of wasted if you're not able to convert that round.
EG do such a
Yeah,
good
he's
job
off
of playing
behind
around
me,
Com here. The
experiencing
Sova
some
on Fracture
technical
is so
issues.
uncommon.
Trying to get it
They're
fixed
the
though.
only team that does
Yeah,
this.
yeah, absolutely.
Keep you updated.
And he's so pivotal to every single round. And that dart was a perfectly good indicator of it. And then when you have
Nice.
guys like Demon One who are doing things on their own, just winning the straight
Nice.
up duels against Zeppa and against Jake, you see why this is such a successful map for them.
And while Leaf and Zelsis are looking for a pick there, Demon One setup is insane. He's actually hoping that that turret is heard from the players in tree, and he's peeking under it.
One enemy remaining.
Nice.
It's just so clean. I think, again, expecting them to walk through that smoke, the alarm bot tripped, and everybody's just watching. What?
Wow.
It's early, but EG looking
All
like
right,
they've not
okay.
missed a single stride from yesterday.
All right.
And they're already starting off with the showmanship.
And I'm wondering, I was like, man, who's shooting the bodies? Why is a Brimstone shooting the bodies? This dude should be in the back. And I'm like, oh, right.
It's Demon One.
It's Demon One. It's the bald guy.
Gunner.
And this is what I was talking about. They're peeking there to break the turret because the rest of the team is calling that turret's there. They want to start chunking down that Killjoy util, and Demon One is just under it.
Yeah.
Before the turret even pings.
What a way to do it.
It's so nice.
What a good start. Back on a bye for C9.
It looks like we may have an early timeout called here.
I mean, yeah, you better. If I'm MC,
Wow.
I'm furious at how these first couple of rounds have gone. And I think what Sean said on the desk right before we went into this about the prep, because we were all thinking EG only has probably 12 hours. That first series was really fast.
Yeah.
But Sean's point, Cloud9 was probably prepping for NRG.
Right.
So for them, immediately getting put on unfamiliar territory against EG, or at least like this new iteration of EG with Demon One, and everything working for them, where you know it's actually the prep, because this is the map that they pick. This is the map that they probably focus as much as possible.
Right.
You don't have time to really prep 3 maps. I mean, that last map is almost always, in this situation, you know, you're just kind of improvising. Not during the regular season, of course, but.
Right. Different circumstances, for sure.
What a start. And I honestly think even after yesterday's upset over NRG, I think everybody's walking into this thinking this should be Cloud9 easy.
Yeah.
And that's that's the mistake everybody made yesterday.
Yeah.
And here we are again, EG 4-0 to start things off.
They're learning already. Remember, that was the dart that we saw a couple of rounds ago.
Yeah, but it's interesting. Look at how do you have to react, right?
Yeah.
There's no smoke even there, so they're very concerned. Trailblazers gonna clear up, but EG immediately, even capitalizing on what happened, what was the dangerous thing last time? It was that pinch from drop. Throwing out the dart, it gets broken, and then they re-explore drop to try to find that split. They might have come out on this, but they don't actually have the info that they're on site here.
Zepa's in spawn! Zepa's in spawn! That first flick was filthy,
Nice.
but
Good trade,
Dino
though.
cleans
Good
him
trade.
up. Now they're going to commit to the site in the face of the lockdown.
I mean, Marini's gonna have to breach hold and just die, and he doesn't even get the spike down.
Oh, he's got to back up.
Nice.
Lockdown's still there, and the spike is down.
Good flash from Ethan. They know where Bustio is. Still gets 2.
And it doesn't matter.
No way.
Doesn't matter if you know where Bustio is, he's still going to find his value. A 5-0 lead for Evil Geniuses.
Wow.
Boy, he knows how to play to the crowd, doesn't he?
Get him going. Yo, he's the new Dapper for real.
I mean, to see something
Can't
like
go to
that on the
Tokyo
other
with
side
that.
of the timeout, they look discombobulated. They look disjointed.
The thing is, I actually disagree. I think they made a right call there to walk in after that dog cleared everything, seeing so much information, but then they overextended.
Sure.
They overextended in spawn, and they didn't really deal with the situation in front of them, which was that lockdown.
Launching smoke.
We've seen already 3 eco attempts from Cloud9. They're gonna have to go for it again. Eventually, this is going to work.
Jogma's already getting pushed off. And Leaf, wow, down under there. He's still not detected, but now they know.
Oh my
now
god.
they know, and they're throwing everything at him. Another flawless round for EG.
Let's
Is that
go.
3 now?
6-0.
2 or 3?
That's 3. That is also
So
a
quick.
situation, again, where Cloud9 feel like they get out in a situation where you're going to catch somebody by surprise.
What a
Leaf
way
in
to
that
do
situation,
this.
I thought for
Oh
sure
my
he was going to
God.
be able to find some kill on the site
I mean,
as he drops out a drop.
Staring at Jogamo.
Yeah.
For what felt like an eternity, yeah.
And Ethan just swings, gets 2, while we're really worried about that sand push, while we're really worried about that drop push, and they handle it so perfectly. That's the
Just
first
so
round
like
there that feels
like
disjointed from Cloud9.
listen, I know I'm
Where you
rooting
have
for
that lockdown
EG, so
coming in,
like
the rest of the
I
team is
should be
pushing in
expecting
before.
this, but I was not expecting this. Like I was expecting to be like disappointed all day. This is like
Looks like we're due for a bit of a clash.
unbelievable.
It's again.
Northern side off of Com's
I still
dart.
expect a
looking
3
for
mapper, but
And there we go, finally.
maybe a little
Cloud9
bit
coming
less.
out with an advantage.
Uh,
with the over top of
well,
the smoke.
maybe a little bit less close than I
Leaf
thought
is
it
out here
would
too
be.
and just used it. Maybe they convert that into something, but Bustio once again wins the 1v1 against Leaf.
Dang it.
And it is uncharacteristic, but Cloud9 coming out with the advantage. Leaf there popping his Seekers by himself and getting punished by Bustio for it, giving up the position where he's at. I think he intended to fake there. But there was so much scrap going on the other side. Ethan, what an angle.
Nice.
Only
Oh.
one, and I thought for a moment that Bustio was going to be set up for the second, but Cloud9 finally get on the board.
There we go. Finally cracking that
Well, it's
code.
just pure scrap there, though, Doug. I mean, again, Leaf, it looks like he intended to go for a fake. After this happened, where he pops his Seekers,
Dude,
gives
this
up
is
his
just
position,
crazy though.
and then Bustio, who's just holding in hulls, destroys him. But a little bit of control gained from Cloud9 now. Still, they have to feel shocked at what has happened so far. We haven't. I mean, this is not completely unfamiliar territory. And instantly starting to ramp up.
Off of the stimmy from Brim, Leaf's able to take that angle aggressively and get 2 big kills. Much like we saw in the previous round, they find themselves with the numbers advantage early.
A little momentum shift feels like it's coming.
They just need to be able to capitalize on these advantages. Well done by Zeppa to keep calm down.
I mean, everybody's peeking here.
Yep.
But you left Demon 1 alive.
Temptation to get a little scrappy.
Your
in
fatal
instances like
mistakes.
this.
Okay.
The intrusive thoughts went out, and that nets Cloud9
No, it's okay.
around.
We still got this. I mean, this is so.
You can
First of
tell
all,
Leaf
it's an
immediately
offense-sided map. Like, it's a
has
really
not been happy with the
offense-sided
situation
map.
so
Like, I
far,
think
just
it's like
swings out Halls, gets two
53%
immediately.
or like close to that of the rounds on fracture go to
And
the
before
offense.
this,
So
at
the
the
fact that,
last
like, even if
series
C9
of
gets
the
the rest
season
of
for Cloud9,
these,
they played
6
against
on the
Crew and
defense
had a
is
very
crazy,
surprising
okay?
start to that.
So,
Crew is a winless team, and they were able to push a top 2 team in the league very, very hard. It was not something you were expecting, but I think it's a similar start. So Cloud9 should be familiar with how to control this situation. But this one is with so much more pressure now.
So much more pressure and an unknown threat on
Cool,
the other
it's
side.
3G,
Keep
we
an
got
eye on
this.
Calm. We've already talked about his darts a few times. He has the Hunter's Fury this time around. Meanwhile, an op in the hands of Boostio, and there's everyone there! Oh, slightly faster trigger finger, and we might be freaking out about something else.
no.
Calm is popping his ult right now, but they're so far ahead. Ethan also with the breach ult.
A Rolling Thunder, a Jogamo!
Ooh.
That's the spike.
Spike down. B.
He's going to be able to zone everything off.
Yeah, but he's alone.
Two, Calm close by. He's got to be able to hold the line, and he can't. They've left
Alright, it's okay.
alone.
Calm got this.
Oh,
Calm got this.
And this all of a sudden
1v3
gets
for
very
Calm, it's
doable for
easy.
Calm.
It's easy.
A 1v2 well within reach.
For a guy like
Tries to swing
this,
just
there's a gap.
But there's a gap. Zelsis sees it. Jake committing to getting his
Alright,
fight
yeah.
down, and Calm looking like he's just cutting
I'm
his
okay with
losses.
saving.
Honestly, I think he might be going all the way around here to try to attempt this.
Wait,
It's gonna
what?
be a scenic route to get there.
He's going all the way around. There's no turret, no alarm bot. The alarm bot's up Gen. So they think he's coming from Canteen right now. But is this really an off angle that's going to catch them by surprise? Maybe he gets one, but that position from Zelsis,
So difficult.
it's stalwart.
He's got a dart. He's got a drone. He doesn't have time.
Can't use either. He's going to get both exits. And oh my goodness.
No way!
Is he gonna?
He does not have time, right?
I think it's gonna be really close.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. He
It's
doesn't.
so close.
Okay, almost though.
Barely missing out.
Alright, hey, but getting all of them there is still good because like C9's eco
Shades of
isn't
Spawn,
completely
what an
stable,
attempt.
so I'm
That
okay with
is
this.
such
I'm okay with this.
a cool try for Calm. And I like it. Even if there's a little bit of a doubt that you might not have it, I just respect the fact that he goes for it. It's so smart. Jake knew too. Everybody holding their breath for that one. I mean, my heart's pounding. That normally doesn't happen in one of these. That is crazy.
And
Alright,
that's just
pause.
enough to call a timeout.
So early too.
I mean,
Yeah, Potter, I was listening in the timeouts yesterday against NRG, and one thing I noticed is Potter always comes into this with a bullet list of things that she wants to get across to her team. What's working, what they're going to change, and preparing her team for that. And as soon as she gets done with that, the rest of the team is able to start adapting to what she's saying. And it gives you such a sense of confidence. I think compared to any of the other coaches, they end up going with the flow of the game, getting focused on some very micro things. And it depends on how the game is going, obviously, but I just think it's such an easy way to stay focused for Evil Geniuses and really readapt to the game plan that you had coming back into this game.
That
For,
game.
for EG, it was all about these smoke dart, these pushes, these re-aggros in the early mid-round. And that might start to change right now.
And it's those re-aggros that I think we saw some hints of historically. We've seen EG like to deny space and take that space defensively, and you see there's a setup for it already. Again, towards Arcade. They have 4 up here. Off of the dart. 3 waiting on the other side. There's a dart. It's not going to find anyone, though.
That dart is crazy good, by the way. Lands up on top of the satellite. It's so hard to break. They're going into Boostio's util here.
And the thing is, I
It's
think
not going to be a factor, though.
yeah, EG are comfortable playing this as a retake. And again, it's because
This
they
just
can,
gets broken here.
yeah, they can send 3 from the northern side, 2 from Spawn. You're right, it was broken instantly.
Paint shells are so good at breaking the lockdown if you can find a position to get them in there.
nice.
Rolling Thunder.
So many ults.
What a pick.
Gonna hit a couple. All it's doing is buying time. Leaf sidestepping the utility.
He's on top.
He's almost behind him.
Ult.
Now he's got the ult. There are 3 playing in halls, but he still has to get through the molly. He has to get through the stun. He's got to bide his time. He's got to wait until the right moment to strike.
Nice.
And it nets
Nice.
a kill in the round. Calm cleaning it up. Rooney, the last one here.
Already on the spike. There's no chance.
Yeah, there's no time for utility, man.
We got it.
Ethan
Let's
sits the
go,
defuse right
dude.
under his nose.
That's
I
the
mean, they did such a
lead.
good
That's
job
the lead on the
zoning all
defense
the
of
Cloud9
Fracture.
players
It's
back Because
insane.
of that double satchel that netted
This is
Giacomo,
crazy.
that showstopper for him to start zoning. They
This
were
is
already
like
falling back to
really,
try to
really
play some
good.
post and try hold on to halls, but these retakes from
That's
EG have been
serious.
fantastic. That ends the momentum right
Like
out of that
nothing for
timeout.
Cloud9 here.
That Cloud9 was trying to build up, and
Oh.
they're roaring to a fantastic half here.
And now low eco for C9. This is so good. So good.
They did invest a lot of ults, so nothing really in the forecast anytime soon. Meanwhile, for Cloud9, Leaf has his online. Zelsis, Jake, 2 pips away from each. And again, it's aggression. I mean, they're so insistent on trying to apply pressure early in these rounds. Be it Arcade, look, they have 2 people up there already. They just challenged halls. They make their presence known everywhere.
I've got your trail.
And you can see the setup. They're thinking they're going to be able to hit a crunch and dish, but no one's there.
Well, the thing is, this has been the situation so often, especially early in the half, where the side is given. But these retakes, we just saw that success. Look at the adaptation here from Cloud9. Jake, deep in that smoke, deep in spawn. They're holding on to sand rather than falling back. This should buy time for Zelsis.
In the
Ooh.
face of the ult, they views over how they want to approach the rest of this round.
Yes. Good
Zeppa's
pick.
the first to fall.
Good
Lockdown
pick.
destroyed. Busio's got a timing. He's got a window. Is he expecting Rooney there, though? No, he wasn't. And he's still in a position to make
Okay,
more
though.
happen.
Nice.
By the time you get there, you're so
But now there's no
heavily
eco
outnumbered.
for C9. Oh, this is so good.
These retakes are unstoppable right now for EG. And Cloud9 trying their best to go for some sort of push into spawn to catch him unaware, to buy time for Zelsis to start playing retake, or the post plant, start playing his mollies. But it's just so clean. And I have to really commend Ethan. He is over and over finding long distance stuns for his teammates that are getting pressured from unexpected positions. Right there, that stun on spawn was beautiful for Bustio to be able to capitalize on the second kill on Jake. And they've broken the bye for Cloud9 on the final round of the half.
Stingers, Bulldogs, and a Phantom. 1 Soul Phantom in the hands of Jake.
Ooh.
Zeppa trying to make his work.
Honestly, so often you're seeing Cloud9 just get into positions way deep, way more than any other team. That's the pace that they normally try to play at. But oftentimes other teams are denying that. They're actually challenging, they have to slow down, they have to start playing with util, but EG's giving it to them, and I think that's making them play way too fast, even though it's a strength for them. Double setup here for Cloud9, Leaf is here.
This it feels like the first time
No
we see some of
way.
this, like expecting of aggression, some of the
Oh.
adaptations, but if Busio still able to spam
What a
through the
shot.
smoke, that is tough.
They have ult here. Calms one off his Hunter's Fury too.
Oh, and he hesitated just a moment. I can't believe he got away. A second orbital strike used. Demon 1 zooming his way out of that. Off of the stimmy.
It's
Calm
okay because
forced
you got
him to
calm.
wait
Look at
for
this.
just a moment, a temporary delay, and once again, it's going to be a clutch situation for him. Into weapons that are less
You're
than
gonna lose
desirable.
to like a low buy.
No info gained off the dart. No free kills off of spam.
It's okay. 8-4 is still really good.
Gonna
Because again,
have to do
like
this one the
Fracture's
honest way.
super offense sided.
And
Like a
no
lot of
real
teams
easy
don't
way to get
like
in.
can't do that sort of retake
Those
that we
sprint
just
smokes
saw
take
EG
forever,
able to
man.
do.
It's like
Oh
waiting
man.
and waiting and waiting for it to dissipate. And finally it comes down and Zelsis gets the 3rd kill on the round.
Switching sides.
But that's a fantastic half for EG here. This is a map that they're pretty good on. Their only loss in the regular season was against Cloud9. But Cloud9 also perfect on this map. They have a lot of perfect maps. But EG right now seems to be getting the better of them. On the duels, on the strats, on the antis, everything. Let's see if this has to continue, because I really think EG looks the best we've seen.
Yeah, I mean, Giacomo's 14-7, and speaking of which, let's take a listen from him see why he thinks the team is heading into playoffs in its top form.
Peak playoff form. Gonna have D1, you know, farming as always. You know, it's gonna be his first playoff season as well. So just seeing him, maybe it'll excite him for sure. Our mid roundings gonna be way better. You know, we're still getting a lot of ideas every day. We're bringing new stuff to the table every day. Me being better on smokes, you know, like the controller role was like a very hard thing to come into, but once I gain confidence in it, I'm just gonna be just as good as any other controller player, I feel, or even better. But yeah, that's probably the peak performance of us for playoffs.
You know, it is funny to listen to him talk about how he wants to be one of the best controllers ever while he's currently sitting at 14-7 on Raze, of all things. So it shows he's pretty formidable at both.
But what a half for EG here.
Oh, yeah.
This is a tax-sided map. They're getting value out of the Sova. They're getting value out of every single player on the server. Demon One's bottom fragging, and they're up 8-4 after a defensive side half on this map. That's just crazy.
Hey, okay, here's the thing. Demon One's on controller, alright? He doesn't need to be top fragging. And like, EG's up 8-4. That shows he doesn't need to be top fragging. You just wait. Now they're switching onto their offense. I feel like Demon One's gonna like start fragging out. Like I feel like we're about to see Demon One like pull through
so
hard.
It's not gonna be off of a cheeky dart lineup that no one's expecting.
Listen, I know deep down we're about to see a win for EG on this map, and then hopefully they continue to look confident and continue to look powerful as we move forward.
We'll see if they're in for some of that this time around as well.
This is exactly what I want to see.
I do want to touch on a lot of the conversation around Cloud9 is questioning how long this sun run can go.
Yeah.
A lot of people throw out the term honeymoon, yada, yada, yada. And I wonder as well if this might have been a targeted weakness by EG, because I feel like this map has been mostly ignored by the rest of the Americas field in terms of getting good on it, changing, being creative.
Sure.
And that might have led to a situation where Cloud9 feels really comfortable because they're beating teams on this map. But that might have actually been due to peak in performance based off of just starting off together. I think definitely in that first game against EG, it was like that.
Good damage.
It's all vibes. This deep in the season, you can't just rely on
that.
that.
There's no heal either, so Zeppa's just gonna have to play down
See
like
if the
that.
vibes can get him through this deficit that they're facing. I mean, shock darts, nades,
Oh,
Jake,
nice.
how the heck are you alive?
How is he alive?
Such good damage right now.
Especially with the gap in that smoke, too. And that's just ridiculous.
Dead man walking.
Did get return fire, though. On to Calm. He's down to 27. Giacomo at 80 as well. And we do have the rotate call. Rooney's coming over to the side, too. Leaf is joining them as well. They're completely leaving Zelstis on A. Such a difference in pace here on the attack, and they're going to pull out a Cloud9 Classic, just walk on the site here. Busio just got so much.
There.
Oh, he was spotted. You see the ping, you see the ping. And the kill goes through. Jake tried peeking at just the right time.
Good trade,
Giacomo was ready for it.
Oh, they're just
Trades
creeping
are
up
big
in the tower, though, and
on
those
the
smokes
offense
are going to
here.
allow them to get on the site.
Because it's so
A lot of
difficult to
control
play
now
retake
gained.
on defense. Especially when you don't
Early
have all your
flash out of
players.
Leaf before they're even ready to pop out of the smokes. I'm not even sure if he has a second. Rooney with the fault line. That might be
And
the
it's their
only thing
controller.
they have to execute out of
Smokes
this.
now. So good. Nice, good pick.
Even one getting the first, it traded back though. He's still trying to hold on to main, satcheling across his face, not able to take care of
Trades, I guess.
the
but
kill.
I'm
Calm with 1
so
HP, and
low.
Ethan not much better off.
One enemy remaining.
He's the
Okay,
first to go down. What
he's
can
got
Ethan
this.
do? Into 1v2, spike planted. They almost line up for him. He's gonna have to get the challenge on each. Reload, swings out again, sees that they're on it. He's got it down to 1. Leaf in half. The
Nice. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. He's got it. 1v2, it's easy.
Talk about
He's
disrespect.
crazy.
That time it's Leaf going for disrespect on Ethan. I think they could have chased him down, especially after they got half. Ethan was not even done with the first target there.
Yep.
And also, Ethan disrespecting them. Not giving them any room. He doesn't back off at all. Doesn't even consider a fake tap.
Into a frenzy up close.
It's crazy. What a decision. I think fighting on the stairs definitely is a very advantageous position there. But again, against the frenzy up close, both pistols now for EG.
All
And
right.
Cloud9 still haven't gotten one of those patented eco rounds going yet in this.
No, and they just made an attempt at it by having an early advantage in this round off of Zeppa maybe getting a pick, but He just took a ton of damage for it instead.
Don't forget, yesterday, EG won against NRG without a single pistol. Now they have both.
It really shouldn't
Nice,
happen.
good pick.
But alas,
Pretty
that
much
is the
it.
world
We
we
got
live in. You're
these
right.
two-
With both
these tight
pistols
now.
now and a 5-round lead, it seems like they're just cruising to a 1-0
Nice.
series lead. They're not done quite yet.
This dude is so well hit.
Cloud9 trying to make something
Oh,
out of this.
got the
off of Jake's
headshot though.
Ghost.
You know he's low.
Playing safe. Allowing the two players treat to protect any run out on him.
Whoop.
Nice, good pick.
Cleans it up.
Finally gets it.
Got style points too with the satchel.
Nice.
All falling down onto Zelsis.
What are you gonna
I
do,
think Demon
Wilson? What are you gonna do?
might be getting bored here. Oh my goodness.
Life over Brim is tough, man.
Show the wrong player.
He's
Wait, that's
way
not so
fast there, ahead of all of his teammates.
Anyone have any splints? I may have jammed my fingers.
And good conversion on the anti-eco.
It's
Not
going
as
well.
clean as the first one, but
I'm happy with this.
they'll
Keep going,
take those.
AG.
Ethan has
Again,
been
a 4 out of
monster.
5. That's such
Really
a good
has.
number. And last time,
Going back
they
to
took the win on
yesterday,
that
I think
third round and a half.
It may have been Sean who said it on the desk.
So
but
I
Ethan
expect-
Ethan has just been in such rare form.
Yeah.
At the very least, a really good performance here from this third round. With the amount of guns that
He's
EG
definitely
has.
playing the best that we've seen, and we've been asking for a long time from him.
Timeout after
Especially
only
last
2
year.
rounds?
While he was on
Yes, you are down
NRG.
6 rounds, 10-4.
Here he
but
just looks so
still, that's
good,
like such an
actually
early
being that
timeout.
veteran presence, and on land too. When we saw him back at those internationals early on in Valorant, back at Masters Berlin, we were saying this guy's definitely a land demon. And obviously he has that history coming back. 10-4 for EG. This is another timeout for Cloud9. And this is probably the biggest deficit that we've seen for Cloud9 almost at any point. That crew game, they had a big comeback on Lotus.
But even then, you think about the pressure is just so much
Yeah,
more here.
It's completely different.
Feels like the first time we really get to take a look at MCE in a timeout situation and see like concern on his face.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been sucker punched, and they've got to find a way to right the ship. Down 6 was still.
Let's
a
go.
little bit
I'm
of game
excited
to play.
about this. Again, the underdog story for EG. Like, this is so good.
We're gonna have to split right now for EG. Calm is deep behind his team, so he can throw out a dart that clears drop. Similar to how teams used to play KO on this map. Quick drop control. Controlling the orb and able to fall back, but there's a pinch coming in from Cloud9.
There's going to be a fight on the northern side, and the first blood has already been drawn. They swing into it.
They all fight because there's no escape there.
And now that, I mean, that's a spike down. There's no one within reach that can get it to it at this point.
And they for sure
It's
know
okay.
the spike is down too. If I'm EG there, I want to slow it down after I see that initial kill come in from Zeppa, so that it gives time for Boostio, for Demon 1 to actually start to pressure on the back line. But that also, it's a, you know, you lose some things because you could start getting pinched from A in that situation. So they just choose to try to fight out of the only place they can go.
The damned if you do,
Disappointing,
damned
but
if you
also
don't
it's a
type beat.
bonus, so
And it just does not work out for
we don't
him.
have to
I
get a
kinda
whole
like
bunch
these
of
smokes from
kills,
Demon 1. It
although it
gives
would have been nice.
Room to start scaling a little bit. And I think they've also shifted ideas here.
Player standing.
Oh, he did get the Guardian, okay. One more, no?
Not sure. Okay, we get one.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
think they shifted there
awful.
to
At least we got one.
get
Yeah.
the orb and then just go for kills.
Definitely could have been
And I
better,
think you
but
saw
it's alright. Now that we're on a bye,
the
they're on a
attitude
bye
and the
from
way
both
that they're
sides. We got
walking and
this.
approaching that situation change.
I'm not worried. EG
And
is
so
gonna
that's
take
Cloud9
this map,
responding instantly on the anti.
and we still have another timeout to use
Not
as
something
well.
that they did on the first half, but good reaction. Out of
Shut
them
down
and
any
finding a
momentum
gap.
from
I think on
Cloud9.
Fracture especially, it's a map where you can often instantly gamble at the beginning of the round based off of where you're going, and you can get caught in situations like that. Cloud9 is a team that it will consistently punish when opportunities arise where they can do something like that.
The spike
Nice.
is on the southern side. Demon 1's the only one close by, and he literally has no help right now. The potential of being overwhelmed and overrun by the three
Nice.
members of Cloud9 heading his way, but Demon 1
Good
handles them
pick.
all.
Oh man.
And they've got some huge execute power.
Holy smokes, bro.
There you go.
I mean, yeah, the last one was off the drone from Com, but
They don't even need anything.
He can 1v9. Think about how potentially dangerous of a situation that was. And it's just handled. I tweeted about it jokingly yesterday. I was like, Demon 1 might be the best player in the game. Ha ha ha. I'm starting to believe it.
I know Busio definitely believes it in terms of the aim.
Yeah.
Calling him a top 3 player, putting him up there on the pegs with Durka.
It's a mighty high pedestal
Come on,
of that too,
Busio,
yeah.
come on.
Which is just crazy
Might at
for
least
somebody
one
that
team.
most people did not even know existed before this season started.
I mean, to
Come
think
on,
that
trade it. Come on.
he was dealing with offers from like tier 2 teams. He ends up as like the 9th, maybe 10th man on a franchise roster, and now he's doing this. He's taken VCT Americas by storm.
All right, take the win.
open
That's good
tryouts
enough.
Find.
Yeah.
Just crazy. And that could have been, I mean, just, that's still, even if he
2
just
more.
gets
That's it.
one
At
pick
least just
there,
get 1 more. You don't get
even
that
if he gets
fucking round.
nothing and is
But
able to
this
fall off, that was still a very dangerous round for
is
EG
looking
to,
so winnable.
or sorry, for Cloud9 to deal with from EG because of the amount of ults. They had the breach ult, they had the orbital strike up too. So no matter what, Evil Geniuses are going to give him a run for their money, but because he gets all 3 picks, he saves them and delays it for 1 more. So now they have tools even further in this, and you're looking at a reset round for Cloud9's economy. And that would be devastating because that would end up on match point if it does go that direction.
Right.
Off your feet!
Look at that dart from Dish in towards Sand. And Ethan patiently waiting for his
Nice,
moment to
good
strike.
pick.
You've got Leaf,
Great
understanding the
tier
pressure coming.
team
That
site.
overstrike's
Nice.
gonna be a problem. Zoning them both off. Now the lockdown invested. They have full halls control. It's gonna be a tough retake for Cloud9.
Bomb grenade out.
Oh.
And if the first half was anything to go off of, I was going to say he can't get anything there.
So good.
No.
3v3
Yeah, nowhere you
winner.
could go. A 3v3 now. Demon 1 has ult. And a post-plant situation. You imagine it's Raps.
There.
He has a Molly too.
They were so good on retakes. Are they the same in the post plants?
Demon 1 with the first. Chogamo trying to deal another. Not able to. A 2v2 is all that's left. Jake with 33 HP. There's orbital strike. Just to buy time.
Still has a molly too. I don't think he can get it in this position though.
It's a tricky spot. But
Pretty
he's gonna
good.
try. There's the Molly in the face of the fault
That
line.
did not
Demon
land,
1
but it's
cleans
okay. It
up the
doesn't
round.
matter.
EG.
There we go. 12-5. And the econ is so. Oh, we're taking this map.
And this is what I was talking
We're taking
about.
this map.
Get a glimpse of the economy right here. It is not
Look at
good
that.
from Cloud9. They have to purchase stingers.
Stingers.
No, it's dreadful.
Sheriff.
The only player who has money to full buy here is Zelsis.
No guns.
Jake has a Vandal right now, no armor, no smoke. So, I mean, you got to reevaluate that one.
Will he?
I mean, they don't have timeouts to call to figure this out either.
Yeah.
He's not reconsidering. He's going glass cannon. 1 smoke. They have to find value
No
immediately.
smoke.
And there was that smoke. He's already used it. Jogamo satching forward.
That's
with the
2.
ult. Jake is so
Oh,
dead.
yeah. Immediate. Actually,
That was
you know
one
what?
of the only guns that they had too. Zelsis has one now. Are they even in a position to pick the other one
Nice.
up? No. Trade.
Good trade.
A
Good
raise
trade.
for a raise.
4v2
4v2
now.
EG with numbers advantage.
Honestly, if
Map
I'm EG, I
advantage.
just rotate.
And just looking to put the finishing
Like,
touches
you just killed
on
3 on this
an
site.
absolute stomp.
Like, C9's probably already there. Oh, but they don't need to.
And it
Oh,
was
they
an
don't need
attempt
to.
lead from the front, but holy smokes.
There you go.
Whoop it. EG just gave Cloud9 13-5 to take map 1.
And they're the underdogs.
That's what I like
That
to
is
see.
crazy.
That is what
to
I
start
like
out
to
the series
see.
like that. It was their map pick. But they just handed Cloud9 their worst map loss of the Americas League. Before this, it was Crew. 6 rounds they got on that one. EG just beat that by a little bit, but this is in a very high pressure situation. This is a situation where we're double qualifying one of these teams at the end of this series.
And they made it look easy, bro. They made it look so easy. They had their game plan. They knew what they wanted to do.
Okay, oh yeah, I wanted to go over my pick'ems for the Challengers, North American Challengers playoffs because I did not do it on stream, I don't think. And even if I have, I'll go over it here just to kill some time. So for the sorry, I'm like using my phone flashlight, so lighting's pretty bad. So the upper bracket, M80 versus Shopify Rebellion, I think is going to go to M80 for obvious reasons. Even though Shopify's already taken out M80, I don't expect a big upset in the playoffs. I mean, it's the playoffs. Let's be real here. Oxygen Esports versus G2. I actually have Oxygen winning just because of how weak G2 has looked. I'm hoping G2 can turn it around just because I want to see that sort of fire we saw in them in Split 1 and in the midseason face-off. But I'm not entirely sure we will see that. And, you know, obviously I'm picking Oxygen here. I don't expect it. And then the Guard versus FaZe clan, I have going to the Guard because it's the Guard, and FaZe, although looked a little bit stronger in Split 2 than they did in Split 1, did not look strong enough to beat the Guard. I mean, they didn't beat the Guard. I believe that was the final game we saw in Split 2. So yeah. Moist Moguls versus TSM. I expect to go to Moist Moguls because it's Moist Moguls. They've looked so impressively powerful and strong. Then for the upper semis, which similarly to how whoever wins the upper semis here goes to I'm thinking of Ascension. This is not Ascension. This is the playoffs. Yeah, in order to make it to Ascension, you need to make it to the grand final. Here I have, let's look at the upper semis. M80 versus Oxygen, I have going to M80. They're going to the upper final. And then the Guard versus Moist Moguls, I think it's going to be a 3-map series. I think it's going to be really close, but I do expect it to go to Moist Moguls, just because Moist Moguls has already proven that they can beat the Guard, so I expect them to be able to do so here. I imagine they'll only get better, because again, this is a team that has just continued to exponentially grow higher and higher and higher and higher, and I expect them to look even stronger when we go into playoffs. Then in the upper final, I expect it to go to M80, and then in the grand final, which I have Moist Moguls coming back for that, I'll explain that in a little bit, I expect to go to M80 as well. So let's go to the lower bracket. Shopify versus G2, I expect to go to Shopify. Shopify is a team that's looking really powerful, and G2, again, still not looking that great. Again, I want them to do well, but just realistically, based on their Split 2 performance, I don't expect them to do well. Then FaZe Clan versus TSM, I expect to go to TSM, because although, you know, TSM's not the strongest looking team in North American Challengers, FaZe definitely isn't either, and it's probably looking worse than TSM, so I expect TSM to take that. The Guard versus Shopify Rebellion, I have going to the Guard because it's the Guard. I expect them to do really well. Then Oxygen Esports versus TSM, I expect to go to Oxygen because Oxygen's looking so powerful right now. The Guard versus Oxygen Esports, I have going to the Guard, and then because I have Moist Moguls losing the upper final, they're back here in the lower final against this is what I expect to happen against, oh my gosh. Sorry. Against, against Moist Moguls in the lower final against the Guard, who I expect to make a pretty good lower bracket run. And then I have it going to Moist Moguls again. I expect Moist Moguls in the grand final against M80, and then I have that going to M80 as well because it's M80, although I think it could go either way. A little reminder is, first of all, it starts next week. It starts literally a week from today is when the playoffs start for for North American Challengers. Why did I say mid-season face-off? Also, if you make it to the grand final, you qualify for Ascension. You don't have to win the grand final. It's the top 2 teams that go to the Ascension. The grand final is just, you know, to finish off the bracket, finish off North American Challengers. But if you do make it to the grand final, you make it to Ascension. I got a little bit more clarity on Ascension, so I don't know if I've talked about it in full yet. I think I did as we've gotten more data. America's, let's see if we can find it. Yeah. So right now we have the America's Ascension. So it's going to be a really quick group stage. I think it's only going to be like a week. This is all going to be LAN, by the way, in Sao Paulo, Brazil. It might even be the same venue as Lock-In, but I wouldn't bet on that. But yeah, it's gonna be a really quick group stage, like just everybody playing really quickly against each other in order to determine seedings for playoffs. So it's not, you know, everybody, if you're in the group stage, you know, if you make it to Ascension, you're going to be in the playoffs. The group stage is just to determine the order and the seedings of everything. And then we go to the playoffs. Only one person wins Ascension, and then you make it to Tier 1 competition next year. So yeah, the teams that make it: 2 teams from North American Challengers, 2 teams from Challengers Brazil, and then 1 team for Latin America North Challengers, and 1 team from Latin American South Challengers, or Challengers Latin America South, Challengers Latin America North. Create 6 teams, and that's going to be America's Ascension. There's also an EMEA Ascension and and a Pacific Ascension. I will not be casting those games. I will not be I might do watch parties, maybe, but probably not. Those are going to be their own regions. I'm just going to focus on Americas. I'm planning on doing casting, although I'm considering not doing the casting for Ascension and instead doing watch parties, because I don't know. I don't know the Brazil teams. I don't know the Latin American teams, right? So it may make more sense, especially since I'm going to be rooting for North America. It may make more sense to do watch parties, but I'm still debating or deciding on that. But yeah, so this is how I expect the playoffs to go. These are my pick'ems. Now, for the midseason face-off, my lower bracket pick'ems were just completely wrong. So it's very possible that we end up in a completely different situation than this. In fact, I expect myself to be wrong. I am not that good at making good predictions, so I expect some upsets, maybe whatever might happen. But you can see I do expect M80 and Moist Moguls to be the teams in Ascension. It's looking like unlikely, although unlikely, it's looking like now Moist Moguls may have been able to get that underdog story going. They're not the underdogs anymore coming into playoffs, but they were going into Split 2, and yeah, I'm excited to see the playoffs and how it's going to go. The second little thing to talk about is the play-in relegation. If you don't know what the play-in relegation is, all of the teams, so there were 12 teams in North American Challengers, only 8 qualified for playoffs. If you qualified for playoffs, you also qualify for next year's Challengers for free. You don't have to do any additional work. The bottom 4 teams that did not qualify, though, have to go through play-in relegation to try and qualify for next year's Challengers. 2 teams will be picked from the play-in relegation winners to qualify for next year's Challengers. The other 2, you don't qualify for next year's Challengers. You can still go through the open qualifying procedure, but it's going to be a lot more difficult than it was this year. This year there were 6 teams who made it through the open qualifiers. Next year there's only going to be 2 teams, right? So getting one of these 10 spots in North American Challengers is really, really good. All of these teams already qualified for next year's Challengers, regardless of if they win or make it to Ascension or not. They qualify for next year's Challengers. But yeah, the bottom 4 teams are going to be in the play-in relegation. This will happen right in the middle of playoffs. There's going to be a 2-day break, or it's a 3-day break in the middle of playoffs from June 3rd until June, or I guess that's a 4-day break, from June 3rd until June 7th. And that's when play-in relegation will take place. From June 4th to June 5th. It'll be really, really quick, rapid fire, just getting through it. And the top 2 teams qualify for next year's Challengers. The bottom 2, you're out. You're not making it to next year's Challengers for free. You can still try and qualify in the open qualifiers next year, but it isn't a free spot, essentially. So yeah, my pick'ems for the play-in relegation is that Turtle Troop will make it through the upper bracket. It's a double elimination, so you got 2 chances. I expect Turtle Troop to make it through the upper bracket, and then OR to win in the lower bracket. I'll explain the steps there. I expect Turtle Troop to beat out Mad Lions in the opening, and then I expect OR to beat out Disguised. Then up here, I expect Turtle Troop to beat out OR and qualify. Then down here, I expect Mad Lions and Disguised to play each other, and I expect Mad Lions to win that. And then when OR loses to Turtle Troop, I expect OR to beat Mad Lions and OR qualify for next year. As much as I love Disguised and I want them to do well, unfortunately, I just don't think it's going to happen for Disguised. As cool as it was to see Disguised come in here and inspire teams like Moist Moguls to get in it, and even talks of XQC getting a team, obviously they brought so much more viewership to North American Challengers, and I'm very happy for that. But unfortunately, they've also had a really tough time figuring out how to position themselves here in Challengers, and unless they can somehow scrap something together and for relegation, I just don't think Disguise is going to do it. Same goes for Mad Lions. I think they looked surprisingly strong towards the end of Split 2, but I don't know if they're you know I don't know if they're top 10 in North American challengers. They may still be in that bottom 2 position that they were in at the end of Split 1. Obviously, I'm happy to be proven wrong and all that stuff, but yeah, pretty straightforward and simple here. But yeah, it's gonna be really fun. It starts a week from today is when playoff starts, May 31st. And yeah, it's a really big bracket. Unlike playoffs for like the Americas and EMEA and Pacific, there's 8 teams, so it's a really big and long bracket. It's gonna be really fun. All of the series are best of 3s, except for the grand final, which will be a best of 5 on June 10th. I will not be able to watch party or anything like that for Masters Tokyo. I'm actually somehow, some miracle, I am going on vacation, and it just so happens to slot in perfectly when Masters Tokyo is. So I'll be here for Ascension. I'll be able to do my commentating of that, and I'll be here for the playoffs. But that time in between when Masters Tokyo is happening, I won't be able to watch party. I'll try and keep up with it, but yeah, just some good timing there. But it looks like we're going back to the game now, so let's go ahead and get back to the watch party. Enough talk about North America Challengers. Who cares about all that? We're now going into the map pick for Cloud9, and I expect this to go to Cloud9. Again, I said I expect a 3-mapper. As much as I'm rooting for EG, I expect a 3-mapper here. So we will see if it is.
Maybe go solo duelists like they have on their split, but I think this double duelist comp has a lot of merit. It's worked well for teams like EG. It's really powerful for these fast pops on the attacking side, especially with that Brimstone in the mix. And like we've been talking about, EG could not have prepped for this. This will be the first game for Cloud9 on Bind.
Well, this is it, folks. If EG win this, they are going to Tokyo. And C9, they have to pull off for the map 3. Let's send it back over to Doug and Balla.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy. I was having a conversation with Jake, and I was asking him about maps, and he goes, we have a little surprise for you. And I go, what? I mean, what could you possibly have that's a surprise? And he goes, you wait, you'll see. Okay. And this was it. It was Bind. They haven't shown it at all, and it looks like they have something special ready.
Yeah, I mean, the double duelist, it's come to prominence. I think on a lot of different maps, people are really starting to think that you can get a lot of value in the dive right now without Chamber in the meta. And yeah, let's see. I mean, Evil Genius is playing the same sort of thing, and it looked pretty good. I think I agree with Wyatt on the desk, talking about how against NRG, they didn't win that map, but I think it looked really good with the ideas. They had some really nice things going through the little vent on B, kind of using the changes, and then just normally,
here,
really quick into this pistol, though.
Ooh, yeah, it is.
All right, I'm back. Sorry, I
And
used
they're
the bathroom
walking
really
down
quickly.
both duelists.
Yeah, let's get into this.
There's another duelist waiting on the other side of the wall.
Look at the flash instantly through the TP, pulls so many Cloud9 players over so that they can find the timing to walk down short here.
I don't think they realize, yeah, they're outnumbered here. As soon as Leaf took damage, everyone else from Cloud9 showed up. And Demon 1 pays for that with his life.
What they were trying to do was bait Demon 1 in while he had his dash. So Jogma took first contact, ran away. And he's actually going to find a kill through the Astra one-way. And Boostio is playing in such a way that he's playing inside of that smoke. It's going to be really hard to clear if they do end up hitting. Cloud9 is actually rotating to clear space that they have no clue where they're at. I think with the info, though, they've just learned a lot. They know the Raze is there. They just saw the dog. And the Astra as well, I think got spotted earlier.
And you could see they caught that at the same time you did, because they instantly picked up pace. At first they were a little precarious, they were a little cautious on slowly rotating, slowly taking some of that space, unaware of what was on the other side. As soon as they deduced what you did, they went fast.
Nice.
And they were able to get the spike down off of it.
Good trade,
but
though.
EG
Nice.
Run at this
Okay.
Nade through the little window.
Oh, the grab
Let's keep
ball
this
too,
player
almost
advantage.
got
Clear
Rudy.
numbers. Yes.
That nade's not gonna feel good. Celsius jumps out of a window into his
There we
death.
go.
Jogamo with 3.
Like they
EG
said,
with
if EG
another
takes this
pistol.
map, they're going to Tokyo. Not only are they going to
pistols
Tokyo for
out of
Masters,
3 right now
they get a
for
free
EG.
spot in Champions as well. So
Pretty
this
good
is
average. I'll
big.
take that.
After losing all 6 in the 3-map
The
series
underdog
against NRG
story.
yesterday.
EG heavily
still able to take
underestimated
it.
coming into playoffs,
I'm
I
gonna
feel
repeat
like.
that over and over, because if they are winning the pistols here against Cloud9, and Cloud9 is not responding with eco round wins, I mean, EG looking prime for him to take this and go for a run at Tokyo, go for a run to win Americas, go for a run at Champions too.
What a wild rags to riches story, man. But they're not done yet. No crowns to be had.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves in one round.
I like it from Demon 1 getting up on top of that shed, but not even activating his dash after getting the first kill is a little bold from him. That's the confidence that is now a marquee setup for him. How have EG on the anti-eco taken this risk to get all the way up behind Market?
How is he here? Why is he behind them? They're
There we
trapped.
go.
Spike
They're getting
down
pulled
A.
back and forth like it's tug of war. Rooney doesn't know which side to fight. Jogamo on one side, Calm, and
enemy
Ethan
remaining.
on the other.
And neither of them are good options. I mean, again, I really want to stress the importance of this because we have not seen
Here we go.
Cloud9
4 out of
this
5.
in trouble all year. The fact that they're getting snuck up on like that, EG are just a step ahead right now.
And I'm already seeing signs of prep, new prep that they had against NRG. Obviously, you can't prep for Cloud9 on the map of Bind. They haven't shown it at all. That's why it felt like a surprise.
It should be
you see
said,
a
it's
game
double
plan
elimination,
difference.
right? So
Instantly taking
one
so much
team from
space.
the lower
They
bracket
did
will
this on Fracture.
still has a
Fracture's
chance
lot
of
harder to do it on,
qualifying,
obviously,
but
because you're guessing at 4 spots and
oh
MC
wow.
not happy at all.
Hasn't had very much reason to be happy. Maybe they can right things this
Nice,
time
good
around.
picks.
One with the Guardian.
We go Demon 1.
Tries to get away. Dodges damage.
Look how
in the
much
mid.
his
Dude, he might be
fingers are
one with the
moving.
Force,
It's like a
bro. I don't
spider.
know. He's got special powers.
Do they check him?
Cost
Leaf
bad
is looking
balls.
good
Oh
night, dude.
my
It doesn't
god.
matter.
Can he find a pick? That's
You can't
insane.
imagine they flip the map here, given they have no info of what's happening showers. So they're
Balls
going to want
on
to
this
end B here.
man.
They're going to want to commit, although they do still have plenty of time.
Looking for that flash from Ethan to see if it spots anything. He actually missed it on the backside of that truck, so it didn't go all the way down short, but he is going to rotate off of no pings anyways. Cloud9 doing what they did on Fracture, just walking in. This actually hurt them on Pistol because Calm just fell back in elbow, and they eventually ended up pushing him, and he got 2 kills from that.
He's in the same place again, too. When do they go? Jake has ult.
Yeah, so he should play back off of site, and he is in Octagon, so with a Molly as well from Rooney, that could be a deadly combination. Zelsa's the only one on site, though, so they could force a 2v1.
Celsius managing to take one
Flash
down with him
himself.
while fully flashed. Boostio on the tap instantly gets spammed.
With the ult here.
There's the ult.
You're just looking to do damage right now, but they're really close to him. Oh,
Nice.
2v1 now.
Jake.
Bigger
He's got it
numbers.
down to
What are you
1v1.
doing?
He's got to win this clutch out. Time not on Calm side. He has to swing. The spam is there. 36 HP. Both clips are dry. Calm gets the kill.
Can he get out the TP? He
No.
might be able
Hey,
to.
but still.
Unreal.
Okay.
Saves the
Getting
gun,
all of
but
those.
Cloud9 gets
Oh
around.
man.
But that's a horrible anti-bonus there. EG, similar situation.
I lost all of their players, and
To their
EG is
life
getting
in playoffs at
econ,
all.
so
They were
no
playing on
econ
house money
stability.
there.
Oh,
That
this
was
is so
free for
good.
them. They had
This
such
is
a
so
good
good.
anti-eco. And they're carrying over 5 weapons.
This is what I'm
And they're
saying,
able
like
to
Red
take
Bull
all
Clutch,
of Cloud9's
Cloud9 is
weapons
sponsored
away.
by Red Bull. Like Red Bull is
Half armor
everywhere,
meta
dude. And they're not
maybe
even
won't
like it's not even
make a
very
difference
good
anyways.
from what I've heard. It's like not
See
even
if
that good of
Cloud9
an
can
energy
make a buy
drink.
here.
But like if they want to sponsor me,
So we're getting back into this one quick.
And they do
Porn
have
event,
a
I
pretty
do.
significant buy still. Only the Molly missing from Jake.
They just have so much money, it's insane.
Ethan spotting
Talk about Red Bull.
Trailblazer invested by
Both of these
Zeppa.
teams are kind of poor.
And an early smoke out from Jake too. Invested so that they can peek past this Viper wall when it goes down and take fights to Boostio, to the players up on site. And Leaf is really close here, but he still gets killed.
Boostio meeting the same fate on the opposite side. They've got a pinch going on. Jogamo's behind them. He takes the molly off of the Roomba, but not able to find anything with it.
And Demon 1
Straight
trades
it.
as that smoke falls too.
Now Calm has been here the entire round. He's been there the
Nice.
entire round. So patient and so diligent. Rewarded with a kill.
It's still
He
such
got
a good pick.
satcheled up
He's
there at the
alone
beginning
now.
of the
Oh
round.
wait, the
And the pivot
TP.
again. Look at Jake's position. He's all the way up in the spawn.
So far up. He's going to be able to cut off these rotations instantly. But can he get both? Or is he going to leave Zeppa in a 1v1? Can he get any?
Oh, the jump spot.
He gets none!
He didn't even.
Heads up from Ethan.
He didn't even do damage.
Zeppa with so much to do.
I like that flash from it. It makes it look like it comes from sight.
No armor.
They're still aware of this though. Demon 1 smokes him off, so they know it's an opportunity.
85 HP. Zeppa on the prowl, on the hunt. He's gotten it down to 1. Ethan boldly taking it to half, finally pulling off. Just a tap. It's just a fake.
Nice.
And it's another
Let's go.
1v1 for Ethan.
Now that one is ridiculous.
What a bad dude, man.
He turns the flash while defusing, gets the half, and that's when he's able to actually
Hey,
challenge.
is
and he
eco low?
actually
Is there
sticks
no
it a little
eco
bit too.
stability for
Yeah.
EG? Yes, but
A good
we
attempt there
do
from
still have
Zeppa.
better econ than Cloud9 after
Holy
that win.
Ethan. Big round to pick up.
Because neither of the teams had good econ
That
going
does
into
break
that.
the money
So it
for
was
Cloud9
whichever
now.
team won would have better
After Comms
econ.
heroics in the last to take them all down. Still though, Jogamo has to buy a judge on the anti-eco, so very good weapon, but you can tell the money is hurting for this side still.
Oh, spacing a little funny here. They have 3 down long to make sure that Calm gets the orb.
I mean, look at the ult cycle that is about to come up for them in the next gun round.
Talk about the potential for a snowball. This could become an avalanche.
What a pick.
I mean, literally, if they go for a team ace here, every single player is going to have an ult.
Nice.
Well on their way.
Oh.
What?
Enemy remaining.
I mean, that is just silly.
Okay.
A flawless round for EG. 4 out of 5 ults online, and
Let's
Ethan's
go. Underdog
I just
story
love that from
coming
Jogamo
through.
too. Because you can tell actually what happens there in that situation. They call him to stop. Stop pushing. Calm needs to get that kill. That's the call right there.
Dude,
And
what an
so he's
upset
just
if EG
baiting
qualifies
for
for
him,
playoffs,
threatening
or
to
sorry,
push.
for Masters. Like, that is such a big
And also
upset.
making us laugh at the same time.
I still think Cloud9 can do a good lower bracket
Cloud9
run,
just
but
looked
still,
flat
like,
today.
this is crazy.
They haven't won an eco round yet. And I normally would not say that about any team. And normally the narrative is on the other side where I'm like, oh my god, they're winning so many ecos. But in this case, they need him. If EG's gonna win every pistol, they need him. Good punish on the Viper's pit. Oh, what?
You thought, but through all of that, EG get 2. And yeah, the pick goes down, but
Who's worth?
Busio still here backside, trying to hold the line.
They're so scared of him, actually.
I mean, the way they're playing, I get it.
Oh, you got away.
I don't know how he did.
But how did
No.
Oh.
They're all bad, Doug.
Wait,
They're
this is
all
so
bad.
good.
That is just... Busio is a bad man for that. And again, another retake.
Busio's
On fractures
cold.
over and over. And you have heroics from these guys now.
Frozen.
Ethan,
This
2
is
rounds
insane.
ago. Calm there is getting literally anti-called. Because he's going for a Viper's Pit, and instantly Cloud9 is like, let's react into this. We called that this is a possibility. Satcheling over.
Oh
Right.
man. Show
Head
Potter.
shakes
I want to
continue
see.
for
I want to see
MC, and
Potter's
it's a
reaction.
timeout for him, a
Of
chance for
course,
him
he's
to
gonna be feeling sad.
lean into this team right now.
Do you even save your
Oh, what I would do
Cloud9?
for a listen in at this point.
You got any sideline reporters? Is my goodness.
He is mad. Oh
And
my
remember
god.
again, we haven't seen Cloud9 in this position.
Nope.
Really all year.
Nope. I mean, we've heard situations of, you know, how MC
Oh, the
is in the
voice crack.
timeouts.
I've been there.
How he's treating the mistakes from the team, and Zelsis is not shied away from the fact that he's harsh on the team. And at this point, this is the most devastating position that
It's
they've
just
been
insane,
in all
though.
season long. Despite obviously Loud, but that was very early in the season. That was them still finding their footing. That was them, honestly, playing over the expectation in that series way back then.
Right.
Now the expectation is they should have cruised through this series.
Expectation is you win these.
And I have to bring attention to Leaf right now. I'm looking at him trying to take these first duels and getting punished over and over and over again. He's 2 and 3 on the last map.
I mean, it's a good point they made
Right
before
now,
the
0-2
series
on
started,
this one,
though.
he's
Like,
playing Jet.
Cloud9 was not preparing to
0-2
fight
in first
EG. They
duels,
were
1
preparing to
and
fight
6
NRG,
overall.
right? And now
way.
they're having to fight
Cloud9
EG, who they
struggling.
weren't really expecting. You know, they weren't
Knives,
preparing for Fracture. They probably weren't preparing to
And
play
2
their
big ults on the
maps
Eco,
against
Knives and Showstopper.
EG,
They
because
do
like
get the space up
realistically,
long
like
with that Showstopper,
you
but it's
prepare
so
for the
slow.
most likely outcome, right? Oh,
The space they worked so hard to take, instantly snatched. I mean, the crowd wants it.
What
They're
on
denied
earth?
instantly. Sorry, guys.
2 kills away, guys. We're getting a little ahead of ourselves. I know it's flashy.
Oh.
No, call for it now. Call for it now.
this is when they need it.
Oh.
Hang on now.
All right,
Y'all
EG.
can't stop.
Come on, don't overheat. Let's back up. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Sorry. I appreciate the effort. That was good.
We gotta let him cook a little bit before we go.
All
Gordon
right.
Ramsay on him.
All right.
Gun here.
High expectations from the man. But again, that was an eco. And unfortunately, their reputation is they should be winning some of these. They should be winning 1 out of 3 of these. And they're just not right now. It's 6-1, and the body shooting continues.
Rent-free at this point. I mean, rent-free.
The thing I love about Demon One is his confidence to go after players. He's like, I mean, actually somebody possessed by the darkness. Like going up against the Lights challengers, like absolutely crazy how he's just like, I'm gonna challenge Leaf.
Yep. He doesn't back down from the fight. He's gonna get away. He's gonna get away. The Seekers don't make it out of the orbital strike, but he preserves his life.
That's a good catch. Ethan backside as well, isolated, double up trap. That's
Okay.
not the easiest angle. That's catching them falling out. But how has Calm gotten here? And with the Astral Divide, he has a lot of room to work with.
Spike planted.
You have no clue where he's gonna pop on the backside of that wall once it falls. If you're Cloud9.
Absolutely, he could be going long. He could be Octagon right now. He could be Hookah. And that's why you see the diligence out from Jake.
They have to hide on sight right now from him. Even though he's nowhere near it. The timing!
Dude, how is he reading this so well? And now he has all the space to take off of Demon One's blades. He's looking for another. He's going to have to pull off a 1v2 here. One up high, none found. Zeppa with 3, Cloud9 with 2.
It's okay, because look at EG, the crowd right now. This is all Kobe.
Another round on the board from Cloud9, and
C9's not winning
they
this match.
need the energy.
I hate to say it because I love Cloud9, but
they need another
I think we're
momentum
looking
shift.
at
We
a
saw a
2-0
little
from
baby
EG.
one on Fracture, just a
It literally,
little
like
tiny
it
one,
truly
'cause they
is.
got
Like
3
I feel like
rounds in
this
a row.
truly is a situation where
That
EG was
only
like super prepared.
3
Or
out
sorry,
of 4
Cloud9
of
was
the
super
rounds they won
prepared
on
for a
Fracture.
fight against Energy.
I mean,
Like
so you're thinking they need
you
a
know that
lot
like
more.
everything they practiced for coming into playoffs was we're gonna fight Energy, and then they didn't.
They did the
Having to fight
satchel
this
up
team,
again.
which they weren't prepared to
Jogamo
play
with
on
one
Fracture,
satchel to
most
get
likely
caught all the
against
way
a
up.
team like EG who
Remember, that
knows
was
how to
so
play on
good when they were
Fracture.
able to force out the rotate from Cloud9 through the
Sure,
back of
Bind
GG.
should still be going to C9, but the way EG's playing, it's like EG knows.
See if they're able to do a bit of the same.
I mean, EG was preparing to fight for
The
their
pace from
lives.
Cloud9 to get
C9
up
was
there.
preparing to
And
fight
it's
one
looking like the
one
same thing.
team and
Demon
one
One
team
here is
only
completely
coming into this
gonna
series,
face the
and
fact
now
that
they're not
comes up
fighting
there,
that
he
team.
still gets out. I mean, come on, man.
Oh, and it's all just to set up one more time.
He just stays here.
To find the kill.
He has no clue where he got killed from right there. No clue.
And you see it, the spam's down
Oh.
in pitch. They don't know the comms up high.
Honestly, they still don't know.
How is
Oh.
he getting away with this?
I mean, that's beautiful
Too
from EG.
easy. It's like a
Even
one
off of the
length
rumor
butter,
that was
man.
intended to go towards bench, you thought maybe they would know and they'd be able to deduce that he has high ground.
Yep.
But they still didn't check him.
Phantom diff in that situation.
Dude, I mean,
By the way, can we
But
talk about
also
the
huge from
America's
Demon One to
trophy? It
get
looks
away
so
from that
good.
situation too.
It looks so
Because
good.
if he
So
dies
does the
here, they have a lot
the
more leeway in their minds to
Challengers.
think about, okay,
The,
what's actually going on? We're not in a chaotic situation.
Masters.
He's still alive at this point, and because of that, everybody's dealing with not only him, but Jogamo getting in on the rotate. It's beautiful.
yep. You can see it. EG's feeling themselves calm, nothing but smiles.
You never thought that EG would be a team who could play to the crowd.
Yep. All of a sudden, we may find ourselves with a different set of villains in the Americas League. Tom sidestepping some of the utility, dumping some of his own. Oh, just
Oh.
narrowly catching the corner. Harmlessly lands on the ground. How far up does Com go? How greedy does he get? He's holding the line for now.
I'm looking at
Sorry,
the A-hole as
sneeze
well.
there.
Well, Demon One sets up here. He does not have dash anymore.
He doesn't have.
Oh my. Farm him. Ace, 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 ace. Ace, ace. Give it to him. Let him have it. Let him have it. No, come on.
How y'all gonna cheer for them and boo them at the same time?
No, that's crazy, actually. That's crazy. And Doug, how has this game has devolved into us chanting for aces for EG when it's a qualification game, when it's, I mean, the most pivotal game of the season for both of these teams.
Dude,
and we're just having fun with it.
They almost didn't make playoffs. they were a series away from not making playoffs. And they find themselves up 6 rounds against the number 2 seed in Americas.
I've got your trail.
Oh.
Wait.
That would have died. That little bounce, I think that would have dissipated either way.
Yeah, it would have been close.
Lucio gets out. They're all stacked up down short.
That was
right
so
now.
smart though. Like they sent the Skydodge into showers a little bit to make it look like they didn't have someone in there.
Raid boss down, right?
Like EG, the brains on this team.
Although if I remember correctly, I think it's Calm who's the raid boss this time. I want to say he's top fragging for EG, or if not, it's close. Either way, still 4 up for the defensive side.
I mean, all of EG right
Lucio's
now,
getting a little
really.
cheeky here. He's by himself. Dude, they're doing this on their own. Talk about feeling themselves. He's got
This is so ridiculous.
What is happening right now?
Pure disrespect.
Can C9 shut down EG? Like what?
I mean, never have I seen something like this, and he's going for it. Rooney gets 2 back.
He overheated a little bit there.
Go get him, buddy. We'll hold the line if it doesn't work.
And they're doing just that.
This is
out of EG, and that sequence from Boostio, we're gonna see it again, is just crazy. Gets the first one, runs away, breaks the dog, and is able to fight another day.
And look on the minimap. Look where he is on the minimap. There's no one around him.
I know how many times you've said no help this game, and they're still pulling it out. Normally we're saying that when they're losing and somebody's stopping the scoreboard, but no, it's ridiculous. Potter can't even believe it.
I love Potter.
And now it's Boostio who's getting in on the action. 14-4.
And bro, we were asking
She's
for
the real
momentum
MVP
shift,
for
and it's
EG.
crazy.
Let's be
EG
real.
has gained even further momentum
Team
shift.
1 though.
These games,
He's ball. He
round,
can't be the
all
player.
these rounds are insane from these guys. And in the last round, they're buying extra ops right now.
Oh my.
See Demon 1 switching over to the Vandal now. We talked about it a few rounds ago. This thing has gone from snowball to full avalanche. With Evil Geniuses as the architects.
Somebody said Zeppa.
Holy smokes. A 10-2 half.
This is I mean, hey, EG wants EG wants Masters. You can feel it, bro.
Incredible. Best
They want
form
Masters
all
so
season
bad.
long. They're peaking at the best time. And this halftime, we have to really digest the fact that we are 3 rounds away from seeing Evil Geniuses go to Tokyo.
Wyatt said that it felt like Evil Geniuses was reaching their crescendo at just the right time. This has been a beautiful symphony with Boostio as the conductor. Let's throw it down to Sean, standing by at the telestrator to break down round 6.
Thank you, Doug. Yeah, this is insane from EG, and the setups changed round by round. So much pressure came from the flank, and that was not different this round right here. So to set the scene right here, what we're gonna see is Calm over here by Showers, and he's gonna throw a one-way orb over Showers. And Boostio is also going to smoke Showers. In addition to that, we're gonna see Birds coming down long B. This is very common to see if there's anyone holding B. So they're gonna quickly realize this is an A setup, and Calm is going to preemptively be ulting short A this round to lock down the short position. Now, what's super important to note is Boostio's stars here. So in addition to obviously Calm's one-way orb over Showers, there's also going to be potential stall coming from the orb here. And Boostio is peeking Showers, so he's getting the info on anyone working up Showers. Simultaneously, you can see, like I said, they're peeking B, and what you're gonna end up getting is Jog pushing all the way out Hookah on the flank because he recognizes this setup has no sentinel to hold the flank, and they were abusing it all half. To kick this off, you see Calm go 1 for 1 inside of his pit, And Boostio plays this situation so well. He's backpedaling, playing backside, and you can watch the top of the minimap right now. Ethan is rotating with Demon. And what I want to draw attention to now is Ethan dogging out Spawn right here in this Brim Smoke, getting Demon set up inside you. Boostio's grabbing 2 frags of his own, and Demon closes it out with a shorty kill. Now, the teamwork in this round is incredible.
And like Jog was going for a flank as well, so even if like the execution on site for the retake wasn't done properly, there was also that flank
earlier in the season.
Jog. It was, I mean,
I think this is perfectly set up, Doug and Bala, for this right here. The trip to Japan. It's coming.
Sean's funny, man. I like him. He's a funny guy. I like that. There was no departure from the airport, though. I saw that was a button on the telestrator. He just failed to use it. So I give him 8 out of 10. The idea was good. Execution
He's used that
could use some
before.
work.
I'm going to let you know.
Oh,
He's
has
used
he?
the airport button before.
All right, never mind. 10 out of 10. I take it back. Take it back.
We can't, you know, he's from NA. We can't put the airport button on there.
It's not good for us.
Okay.
Dude, we are 3 rounds away from sending EG not just to Tokyo, but to Champions. 3 rounds away right now. All they need is really a pistol round, and they've been flawless so far. Let's see if they can do it again. That's the first kill.
Nice pick, Jog.
A bit more to find.
Come on.
And plenty of time to do it. Jake is in trouble, man. He's going to get dogged. He's going to get naded. He's going to walk into
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, Jake? What are you gonna do? Exactly. Oh man.
The little things, bro. It's those little things that have just been such a night and day difference for Evil Geniuses.
You might think it's been fragging the entire time, but Sean's Telestrator breaks it down a little bit more too. They're just taking full advantage of the mistakes that Cloud9 are putting out and the deficiencies in their comp too. You can tell they're ready. This is what match experience does too. Real live match experience against NRG compared to the never played bind of Cloud9.
There's going to be a 2-man flank, but Ethan's ready for it.
What?
He never saw Leaf.
Bruh.
Never saw him. Yeah, he was weak, but doesn't matter. He gets the kill anyway.
1 enemy remaining.
And it all falls down onto Rooney, who's been trying to do this delicate dance with Ethan on the flank.
Oh man.
And he's greeted by way too much.
That is a really bad start for C9. They needed that pistol.
4 for 4 on pistols.
Clean slate.
And
Let's leave
this,
whatever
I mean, they might just end up beating them harder than they did on Fracture, already giving them their worst loss, their worst map loss of the season in playoffs. But they might just do it again. And Ethan, again, he's just looking for mad spam angles until his team arrives.
Yeah.
Discipline there, and also he gets the space for him to fall back into that because his team holds the line on the spawn side. Again, now 2 rounds away, and Cloud9 are forcing up here.
And they have
Cloud9
to.
going for an all-in play here to save it. Save themselves from having to do a lower bracket run.
No real choice otherwise. They're not aggressive. They don't fully send down long. They're patient here.
Demon once got the Guardian again. He was so magical on that in the first half. Gets the tag. It's not a headshot, but a lot of damage done.
It's a little sprinkle of the magic dust that time around.
They're giving him a lot of space. Love this
Oh,
from Demon One,
man.
peeking ahead of the Trailblazer, knowing that he has a 1v1 there. It's beautiful stuff.
Finding those little timings and being able to exploit them, that's what makes him so dynamic. One of the many things that makes him dynamic, really.
And I was about to say, they give up a lot of space to Cloud9 to set up both crossfires in bathroom, crossfires in long, but they just 1 kill and it's all falling apart here for Cloud9. And they're spread out. Now they have 1 inside of sight, but that's clearable with mollies.
And they have to capitalize here. You don't win this round, you're on series point with another broken buy. It's gotta happen now. And I don't know that they have the tools to do it, but they've gotten it down to a 1v3 and it's
I mean, I'm not one to say GG, but I mean, this is GG. I'm gonna say it.
Remember, they almost didn't make playoffs. And then they against all odds, take down NRG. The next day, once again, facing insurmountable expectations and odds, have to face Cloud9. And they're doing it again.
This is the 2nd seed in the Americas League. This is the team that ended their season on an insane run, not losing a single series after week 3 against Loud.
10
This
maps
is
in a
just,
row.
I mean, this is just
ridiculous.
too much.
Evil Geniuses.
The
has
number
shown right
2
now that they
seed
deserve
versus
the
the number
respect
6,
of
literally
community,
the
that they
bottom
deserve the
player
respect
coming
of
into
their peers.
playoffs. The bottom team coming into playoffs.
As they move on right now, 1 round away.
I got no words.
From the double qualification. Their biggest game ever as an organization. Prior to yesterday, they'd only had one playoff win in the VCT. One playoff win.
Moments away now. Potential moments away from history, and shots like that surely will seal the deal as he gets another.
Oh, sorry.
Evil Geniuses just looking to
Not
clean
mean to
Cloud9
do that.
up. As the number 2 seed looks to exit with nothing more
I'm trying
than
to
a
adjust,
whimper.
my chat's not working for some reason.
2 stingers. No way to recover guns. They're going for a double flank right now. This is it. This is all or nothing for Cloud9. Calm's watching it, guys. This is it.
This is how it ends. Zeppa's the last one up.
Look at DB1 going for it.
I want it. The flash and the kill delivers. They prove lightning
The
can
underdogs,
strike the same.
and they qualify for Tokyo. What on earth?
Welcome to Tokyo.
Not just Tokyo, welcome to champions. Insane stuff out of Evil Geniuses. And they have a chance right now. They're going up against Loud in the upper bracket final. How in the world has that happened? They're literally top 3 in the Americas League. From the bottom to top 3, from 10th place in all the power rankings after a few weeks. And they've earned it. They have absolutely earned it. Hard work pays off.
Listen, I came into this rooting for EG because they're the underdogs, but I did not expect them to win. I was expecting 3 maps. I mean, I said it. I was expecting. I mean, realistically, I was not just expecting 3 maps. I was expecting a loss for EG. Look at this.
Individual 1v3s with no help. Coming from Boostio, heroics from Calm, Demon 1.
I mean,
Zismo,
GG, because
Demon
that's.
1.
I mean.
Just a beautiful game. A beautiful series from EG.
And again, the worst map loss as well.
C9's gotta feel so bad now. They're gonna have to play so many more matches to try and qualify
And this is
for
a top
Tokyo.
2 team. This is the team that took the 2nd seed going into this. And EG handled them like that. And here it is. The reactions for Boostio going to Tokyo.
I don't know how he hits that pitch. Boostio just gets up there.
Wow.
Unbelievable stuff.
Alright, well, a little bit of a short stream today. I don't know if I'm going to watch party. I'm not going to do it tomorrow. I don't have time. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to watch party the rest of Americas or not. At the very least, Challengers North American playoffs start next week, a week from today. So Wednesday next week.
What a shift.
It's Wednesday, right? Yeah. So Wednesday next week, we'll be back, or I'll be here to do my own casting of North American Challengers. So be here for that. If I do end up watch partying or some other games in Americas, you can also come check out that. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to scroll down, see if you subscribe. If you are, thank you so much. If you aren't, I'd hope you would consider it. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.